Good morning. This time we'd ask you to kindly rise for the entrance of the class of 2011.
Welcome everyone to the 8th grade moving up ceremony. Please remain standing for America the Beautiful.
Good morning. I would like to welcome the members of the Board of Education, President Sickles, Vice President Tucci, Mrs. Gottlieb, Mrs. O'Keefe, and the administration, Dr. Mustick, Dr. Bucci, Dr. Ferraro, Dr. Latinsky, Mrs. Longabuco, Ms. Santangelo, Mrs. Wallace, and Mr. Seglia. Many generations have had a great impact on the history of this nation and the world. The past generations invented the technology that we all use in our everyday lives. Because of this, our generation now has much to offer. We will use what past generations have made for us to do something great. When we expand on the technology we currently have, we will do many things, like navigate the halls to get to class on time in the morning. We will make transportation easier and safer by creating a GPS so powerful it could drive a car and avoid traffic. After our experiences in the dining hall, we will invent new ways to mine and recycle important nutrients and minerals that aren't renewable but are needed for survival. After using computers, laptops, and document projectors in class every day, we will make learning in schools better by inventing technology with fewer flaws, making it faster and easier to use. We will invent computers that never slow down. We have already started architecture in science, building with spaghetti and marshmallows. To improve on that, we will invent a microchip that could create a three-dimensional image in midair of a building that you could move, zoom in and out of, and edit. We will improve on multitasking. Computers will do many things all on one screen. We will be on AIM, Facebook, while translating a foreign language, typing an essay for social studies, and checking Spark Notes to better understand the symbolism in To Kill a Mockingbird. All while purchasing a song or two on iTunes. We will strive harder to create, invent, and do. We will attempt to colonize the moon and travel farther into space. We will invent the flying car, cure diseases, and find a way to attend school, even when you're sick. To help us achieve all these things, we will take advantage of everything Rhinebeck High School has to offer, and we will succeed. We have received a lot of help from our teachers in the middle school. They have given us the ability and tools to do whatever we want. No matter what we do, just like previous generations, we will make an impact.
It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Mustick, Superintendent of Schools. Please welcome Dr. Latinsky, Principal.
Probably the best introduction I've had. Thank you, Thomas. You do have to give up the podium, though, once you... We're on to the front. I'll be keeping this up. Well, welcome this morning to our middle school graduation. This celebration marks one of the most significant transitions for our students. Today is a day to celebrate your success, a time to reflect on your past accomplishments. This is a day to honor our graduates, their teachers, their parents for their hard work and dedication. Students, you're about to enter a world of more choices and more responsibilities. And it sounds pretty exciting from what Brendan just said. This year, at each of the celebrations, I'm speaking about choice, specifically the choice of how we live our lives. At the high school, I'll be referencing a new film that a local family, the Rafferty family from Amerenik, has produced and was recently screened at Sundance Film Festival. The film was called Rebirth, and I'd suggest if you get a chance, you should take a look at it. It's about the rebuilding of the World Trade Center, and it follows the lives of 4 individuals who were directly impacted that terrible day, and how they became reborn over the 10 years since those attacks. It's a wonderful, powerful film, and it makes you think about how you're living your life, and it caused me to remember a story I recently read that I want to share with you today. This story is about a young man, and we'll call him Jerry. Maybe I'll call him Tom. He's the kind of guy we all know. He's always in a good mood and always had something positive to say. When someone would ask him how he was doing, he replied, "If I were any better, I would be twins." He's a great friend, and everyone wanted to be around him because of his attitude. He's a natural motivator. Seeing this style really made me curious. So one day I went up to Tom and I asked him, "I don't get it. You can't be a positive person all the time. How do you do it?" Tom replied, "Each morning I wake up and say to myself, Tom, you have two choices today. You can choose to be in a good mood, or you can choose to be in a bad mood. I choose to be in a good mood. Each time something bad happens, I can choose to be a victim, or I can choose to learn from it. I choose to learn from it. Every time someone comes to me complaining, I can choose to accept their complaining, or I can point out the positive side of life. I choose the positive side of life." "It's not that easy," I said to him. "Life's all about choice. When you cut away all the other junk, every situation is just choice. You choose how to react to situations. You choose how people will affect your mood. You choose to be in a good mood or a bad mood. The bottom line is, it's your choice how you live your life." Several years later, I heard that Tom was involved in a terrible car crash, and he was in pretty bad shape. After 18 hours of surgery and weeks of intensive care, Tom was finally released from the hospital. I contacted him to find out how he was, and Tom said, "The paramedics were great. They kept telling me I was going to be fine. But when they wheeled me into the emergency room, and I saw the expressions on the doctors' and nurses' faces, I really got scared. Their eyes read, 'He's a dead man.' I knew I needed to take action." "What did you do?" I asked. Well, there was a big, burly nurse shouting questions at me. She said, "Tom, are you allergic to anything?" "Yes," I replied. And the doctors and nurses immediately stopped working and waited for my reply. I took a deep breath and I yelled, "Death!" Over their laughter, I told them that I am choosing life. Operate on me as if I'm alive, not dead. Jerry lived thanks to the skills of those wonderful doctors, but also because of his amazing attitude. And I learned from him every day that we have a choice to live life fully. Attitude, after all, is everything. The choice is up to you. As you enter high school, you're going to have many, many opportunities to choose. Always choose to be positive. Congratulations to the class of 2011 and to the high school class of 2015.
Everyone, please welcome Dr. Lutinsky, principal of the middle school.
Good morning. My son's 8th grade moving up was on Monday night. It was an hour and 40 minutes of sweaty gymnasium and a bad sound system. So I think you'd agree so far we're doing it better and cooler, and it will be shorter. When Ms. Doolin brought up the idea of having an impact and making a difference as a theme for this class's moving up, that had an impact on me. I decided to tag along. I didn't have to invent a topic. So I thought about how I could make my perspective relevant to 8th graders. As you may know, this group of young people behind me is the last of the 4-year Rhinebeck Middle School classes that started here in 5th grade. So I've known them longer than I will any others from now on. I've spent a lot of time reading history, so I understand how regular people can be at the root of pivotal world events. Therefore, I stand here with over 100 potential difference makers, each armed with something special that could have impacts great and small. Class, let me support my point with a few examples. First is an easy one. Andrew Carnegie has been a prime example of a man who went from impoverished to impact. He's special because his story is not simply one of rags to riches, but one of a man who began with nothing, gained everything, and then gave away what he had to those with nothing. Allegheny, Pennsylvania was not exactly the land of opportunity in the 1840s, but Carnegie, having immigrated from Scotland at age 13, took jobs, read books, and invested his money. What made him different, though, or the way he made a difference, was what he did with his success. He retired at age 65, and by the time of his death, gave away $350 million of his earnings. How many of us would do that? That money went to libraries, schools, and trusts, and had an exponentially positive impact on everyone who has used those facilities over the past 100 years. Here's a more contemporary example. Oprah. Born to an unmarried teenage mother in 1950s Mississippi, also no great land of opportunity. Abused as a child, she became a pregnant teen herself. Although bounced between parents, she eventually became an honors student in high school and earned a college scholarship. Her accomplishments include having the highest rated talk show of all time and being the richest African American of the 20th century. Like Carnegie, she turned her success into philanthropy. She used the media tool that she created to make a difference. She focused her wealth and power on AIDS in Africa, the creation of schools, Katrina victims, reading, and who can forget the day when she put keys to new cars under the seats of every member of the audience. If you find keys under your seats, please turn them into the office. They're not for you. I don't want you to get the idea, though, that you have to start off poor or disadvantaged to have an impact on the world around you. You don't have to turn into a philanthropist either, but there are plenty of role models for middle school age students. Young adults like Zach Bonner, who marched almost 2,500 miles from Tampa to LA and raised $25,000 for underprivileged kids. Or Jordan Somer, who began the Miss Amazing pageant for girls and women with disabilities. Or Brittany and Robbie Berquist, whose Cell Phones for Soldiers program collected 7.5 million used phones so that those serving overseas could talk to their families. Difference making doesn't have to be philanthropy, though. We rightfully celebrate the Carnegies and the Winfreys of the world, and you can find all the kids I mentioned and more on the news on many websites. But impact is not just about money or charity, and doesn't have to involve millions of people. It can be influence, and it can be personal. Friends and family, anybody can make a difference for you, and you can do the same for them. Here are a couple of personal examples. Freshman year of high school, in the spring of 1982. I was leaving school one day, and my best friend Dan was walking the wrong way back to the gym, and he was carrying this funny-looking stick with a net on the end of it. Really hadn't seen one of those before. I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I joined the lacrosse team. Want to come?" I was very skeptical, but he added, "I don't know what I'm doing, but you should do it too." I had no idea what it was, but I joined, played throughout high school, coached, and now both of my children have played lacrosse. All he did was include me on something he thought was fun, and that has had a significant impact on my life. That somewhat made up for the time he burned up my dad's car with a flaming jean jacket. Speaking of my dad, my father was a carpenter, and I earned money during high school and college working with him. I was always proud of the scattered monuments to his work that I was able to participate in, like Rockefeller University, Trump Tower, and New York City brownstones, owned by random people like Sandy Duncan and the designer Halston. Despite those famous places, I really marveled at how he could fix anything or build something out of nothing with just his hands and some old tools. This was before MacGyver. That impacted me because it gave me the courage and determination to do the same around my own house. Although I'm a danger to myself with power tools, and my wife often hires people to fix what I've done, I still believe I can fix things, and sometimes I do. But I always try because he gave me the attitude that you can do it. What would it take for you to make a difference? I think that you probably need a combination of internal and external conditions. Externally, family and friends can be very important. You may even need a little bit of adversity. I'm sure the people I mentioned enjoyed more than their share of luck, but you can't count on that. What you can do is take advantage of opportunity and make a difference when that opportunity arises. That's the internal part. Wait for it, but when it comes, you have to recognize it and act. Have an impact. I close with words from my favorite Canadian lyricist, Neil Peart. If the future's looking dark, we're the ones that have to shine. If there's no one in control, we're the ones who draw the line. Though we live in trying times, we're the ones who have to try. Though we know that time has wings, we're the ones who have to fly. Thank you.
The class of 2011 chorus will now perform You've Got a Friend in Me.
Hello. Friendship. Caring, commitment, and compassion. Being there for a friend is a life skill as vital as breathing. Stepping into kindergarten at Daniel Warren for the first time 8 years, 8 months, and 19 days ago, we were all wide-eyed, scared, open to the world, and we all had that new student smell. Now, 3,183 days later, we are a community of peers, mentors, and friends. Rhinebeck is a kaleidoscope. In the kaleidoscope, there are many different shades and shapes, and different parts that come together to create a beautiful masterpiece. Separately, each one of us shines in different ways, and together we create a vibrant, cohesive masterpiece. Friends, friendship. Friendship is a Rhinebeck state of mind.
You got a friend in me. were younger, we could get away with oblivion. We could convince ourselves that we were too young, or too inexperienced, or too ignorant, and that we had no business in tampering with world affairs. We could avoid current events by tricking ourselves into believing that we could do nothing about them. We believed we were impotent and left it up to our elders to deal with the confusing matters at hand. After all, they were the ones who would get blamed if nothing worked out, right? Why should we waste our time thinking about such things if those wiser than us couldn't solve them? Who would listen to us? We could be apathetic and unaware, simply because nobody expected us to know anything, or say anything, or do anything. Regretfully, those days are far behind us. We can no longer hide behind innocence and oblivion because we are beginning to understand the issues in our world, and we do have something to say about them. We cannot look at the world around us the way we once did. With every new experience and explanation, we realize how little we really know. We see the puzzle we have been avoiding for so long is readily becoming unavoidable. As we dive into this new world of debate, war, confusion, and chaos, we start to see our mistakes, our flaws, and our moments of brilliance. We delve into the minds of our elders, envision ourselves in their position, and conceive the reason behind their actions. We become cognizant of the occurrences around us, and soon, that scary world outside seems to make greater sense. We must now learn to accept that we are the future, and that our ideas do matter more than we let ourselves believe. I'm sure everyone has seen this saying from Leo Roston on the wall in English when they got up to blow their nose. I think the purpose of life is to be useful, to be compassionate, to be honorable. I think it is above all to matter, to count, to stand for something, to have it make some difference that you lived at all. We do play a huge role on this earth, and we must each find our purpose and make a difference if we wish to advance. Now, with this awareness comes truth, and the truth is never easy to believe and even harder to accept. The truth is that the world isn't always so glorious. That while we suffer greatly from finding nothing satisfying in our cupboard, there are people in the world that would be satisfied with anything they could find. That while we abstain from writing our essays and shut the doors to opportunity, others never have those doors opened. That while we take for granted the safety of our homes, others do not share the same reassurance. Fortunately, we can now appreciate how little we know and how much we want to know. Why did those countries go to war? Why did those countries go to war? Why are they our enemy and them our friend? The answers seem more complicated than we would like, and again we are overwhelmed and wish to curl up and let others take charge. We question our elders and look to those who share our worries for reassurance. We find these angels in the form of our friends. We are not alone in our confusion, and we set off to unravel the world together. We each have ambitions. We all feel the desire to be remembered, and we yearn to find out what our legacy will be. Our generation will make a difference, because each and every one of us will have a chance to be heard. We cannot solve the problems in our world before we solve the problems between its people. The more people understand the world we live in, the more minds we will have working in unison to end our troubles. Our generation will achieve a new era of enlightenment. We will educate and bring people of all ages together to ensure that everyone has a chance to think for themselves and an opportunity to act. We will all be remembered. After all, what point is there to living if you don't make a difference?
Thank you, Kim. At the close of every school year, I try to find the words most fitting to send each 8th grade class onto the high school. I struggle to best encapsulate the years they have spent in the middle school. This year's struggle has been exceptionally difficult. How can I find the words to describe the young men and women behind me? They are scholars, friends, athletes, teenagers, sons, daughters, and after what I saw last night, definitely dancers. They are unique individuals, each with their talents and faults. No matter what words I choose to describe them, I could never really find the right words to express my sentiments. These young men and women are on the cusp of adulthood. What they are and what they will become will be determined by the paths they choose to follow. Hopefully, these paths will be led to greatness, or will lead to greatness, sorry. Some will become educators, others doctors. Some husbands or wives, others parents. They will be explorers, inventors, pioneers. To the class of 2011, no matter what you decide to do in the future, remember that it should be great. It will have impact, and it will make a difference. Don't pass by any of those opportunities that are set before you. Congratulations. We would like to honor the 8th graders for their middle school accomplishments. Would Mr. Seglia and the 8th grade teachers please come to the stage to help me present the awards? Mr. Seglia will present the 3-sport athlete awards. When you hear your name, please come get your award. Haruna Akazuki. Mark Babakian. Mikhail Baknovich. Yukim Buk. Miles Cameron. Brianna Cephaloni. Rachel Cohen. Joe Colasanti. Pedro Cueto. Sam Frioli. Daniel Gottlieb. Kevin Hassenkratz. Daniel Humphreys. David Jackson. Joe Giuliano. Diana King. Aki Koga. Rio Koizumi. Shannon Ligori. Joshua Laurie. Chris McLean. Nicole Mency. Nicole Miller. Arthur Karam. Caitlin Pillig. Noah Ponticello. Sean Primrose. Caleb Puglisi. Chris Richard. Nicholas Rotako Canessa. Jake Sevian. Hayato Takahashi. Maki Taniguchi. Fernando Talio Camargo. Lauren Valarelli. Lindsay Walder. And Jack Weber. Excellence in English goes to Kayla Vinzans. Achievement in English as a second language, Moe Yoshida. Excellence in Regents Algebra, Cassie Chan. Excellence in Math 8, Annalisa Panetta. Excellence in Regents Biology, Brandon Cates. Excellence in Science 8, Haruna Akazuki. Excellence in Social Studies, Russell Heller. Excellence in French, Alexis Vinzans. Excellence in Italian, native speaker, Annalisa Panetta. Excellence in Italian, non-native speaker, Caitlin Pillig. Excellence in Spanish, native speaker, Grace Tito. Excellence in Spanish, non-native speaker, Cassie Chan. Excellence in Art, Kayla Alba. Outstanding contribution in band, Anthony Straza. Effort and commitment in band, Josh Laurie. Outstanding musician in chorus, Asher Berkson Gold. Outstanding contribution in chorus, Jake Welty. Outstanding achievement in theater arts, Maite Elias Nava. Outstanding performance in theater arts, Asher Berkson Gold. Most consistent effort, Nicholas Rotako. Most improved throughout middle school, Lindsay Walther. teachers, you may go back to your seats if you'd like. I'd like to ask Dr. Lutinsky to bestow a few awards. Achieving high honor roll status for all of 7th and 8th grade, Ikim Yuk. Cassie Chan. Pascal Inkema Van Dyke. Brandon Cates. Kayla Vinzons. Overall academic excellence, Ikim Yuk. Principal's Award for Character, Dominic Brescia. And now Dr. Mustick will actually hand out a couple of special awards. The American Association of University Women for accomplishments in both math and science, Pascal Inkema Van Dyke. Kayla Vinzons. And Alexis Vinzons. Certificate of Special Congressional Recognition for Service to the Community, Lauren Valarelli. And our final award, the State of New York Comptroller's Award for Academic Excellence and Civic Commitment, Lauren Mastaloni. Thank you, Dr. Munster. Dr. Lutinsky. Dr. Lutinsky will now present the certificates. Haruna Akazuki. Kayla Alba. Ryan Allen. Michael Augustine. Mark Babakian. Hannah Barrett. Christopher Barajas. Christopher Barrios. Richard Barrios. Asher Berkson Gold. Leah Berlioz. Marissa Bevilacqua. Gabriella Bianco. Dominic Brescia. Cameron Broom. Mikhail Buknovich. Yakim Buke. Joanna Calderon. Miles Cameron. Christopher Campone. Sophia Carolini. Brianna Cephaloni. Cassie Chan. Zachary Chimlecki. Rachel Cohen. Joseph Colasanti. Manuel Corona. Pedro Jose Cueto. Christopher De La Rosa. Kendall Edwards. Pascal Ankama Van Dyke. Maite Elias Nava. Mark Fisher. Samuel Frioli. Dana Gallagher. Andrew Galstian. Matthew Garofalo. Mara Glenner. I'd like to invite Board of Education trustee Bonnie Gottlieb, who will now present her son with his certificate. Daniel Gottlieb. Cameron Greenland. Karen Guerrero. Kevin Hassenfratz. Russell Heller. Glenn Holloway. Daniel Humphreys. David Jackson. Daniel Jason. Matthew Johnson. Joseph Giuliano. Brandon Cates. Diana King. Akimitsu Koga. Rio Koizumi. Gabriel Lesser. Shannon Ligori. Joshua Laurie. Hunter Lyon. Lauren Mastaloni. Thomas McCaffrey. Christopher Payne. Alexandra McMillan. Courtney McNally. Nicole Mency. Nicole Miller. Kathy Marie Mitchell. Nikki Napolitani. Brendan Nishelski. Takuna Nishimura. Ryan O'Day. Patricia Oriani. Alessia Panetta. Annalisa Panetta. Arthur Parham. Middle school teacher Eileen Philippe will now present her daughter with her certificate. Caitlin Pillard. Noah Conticello. Sean Primrose. Rocco Picella. Kayla Puglisi. Christopher Richard. Nicholas Rotako Canessa. Joseph Rodriguez. Sarah Rukeyser. Renato Sansoda. Alyssa Sensi. Jake Sevian. Nicole Sheldon. Andrew Smith. Corey Soriano. Aiden Spencer. Anthony Straza. Alexander Styler. Anna Swatsky. Hayato Takahashi. Maki Taniguchi. Danielle Tardio. Grace Tito. Fernando Toledo Carmago. Victoria Trapicchio. Lauren Valarelli. Peter Veltri. Ezekiel Ventura. Alexis Vinzons. Kayla Vinzons. Lindsay Walther. Jack Weber. Jake Welty. Graham Wolowitz. Samantha Yellen. Moe Yoshida.
Ferraro. Proud to present to you the Rhinebeck High School graduating class of 2015.
Everyone please stand while the class of 2011 exits the auditorium.